also want to bring in Lieutenant General Vinod Bhatia. He's the former Director General of Military Operations. He's also commanded a corps at the line of actual control in Sikkim and an infantry division on the line of control. General Bhatia, always a pleasure to have you, sir. I wish it were in better circumstances. What a terrible tragedy, in North Sikkim coming in. 16 soldiers lost in this most unfortunate accident. You've served, you've commanded, you've overseen troops and movements and formations in this area of North Sikkim, sir. Can you tell our viewers and share with us, the terrain, the circumstances under which such a horrifying accident could have taken place?
Shiv, it is very tragic. It is heart-wrenching when we lose men like this. Especially, its loss of life is very painful. It's very difficult for a soldier. The risks are one too many. The task is there. The terrain is there. The weather. He has to fight everything. It's a very high-risk sort of a job. And such accidents do occur. They should not. It's not the first one. I hope it's the last one, though. The terrain is difficult. The roads are very. It's a treacherous terrain. The roads at this time, especially at this time of the season, the weather this time, it is minus sub-zero temperatures there. The winds are high. The fog, if you think the Delhi fog is bad, imagine what the fog will be out there at about 15,000, 16,000 feet. There are multiple reasons that can happen, and a number of things come together at the same point of time, but it's very painful. Losing a man like this, it is, my heart goes out. There's no words to express our grief, and salute these men, the families. They were coming on leave, they had their dreams, they had their aspirations, their tasks cut out, a lot of things to do. But it is sad. But having said that, this terrain in North Sikkim is high winds. Roads are there, though roads are at best maintained, but this is winter season. There is attrition on the roads due to wear and tear. It is very easy to sit back and say that this would have gone wrong, that would have gone wrong. It's not conjecturing, but having experienced such weather, such terrain there, having seen accidents in Sikkim and other hill areas and other high altitude areas, the number of reasons can be one too many, and it's a combination of the reasons. Whether it's I won't blame the vehicle as much. I won't blame the driver. It's just the conditions, the terrain conditions, the road conditions, the weather conditions, sub-zero temperature. The road has got, the vehicle skids off the road. There is a bit of a snow, it will skid off the road, and once it goes down a few hundred to 1,000 feet. Difficult to even retrieve, evacuate our men from there. Helicopters can be used. So there can be enough number of reasons. I'm sure corrective actions will be taken. It will be looked into, as it always happens. And I hope that we've seen such accidents almost year after year. Unfortunately. But that is part of soldiering, that is part of life, and that is part of deployment in the high altitude regions, especially along the LAC and the LC, LAC especially, and all these areas are very, very difficult, 15,000, 16,000 feet, not easy to survive. Units, my condolences to the units also, because their loss. This unit is a family. The function of family. They would be singing. They have to get up and start doing things again. They have to put this behind them and make sure that high vigilance is maintained, especially at a time when they're very sensitive out there along the line of actual control and on the Indo-Tibet border. So there are things which touch your heart. Condolences to the families who have lost their near and dear ones. It is a sad loss. I hope it wouldn't happen, but it has happened.
General, the point that you made that in the recent days, as we know, our troops and Jawans on the border, have been in the headlines from a different part of the country, which is in Arunachal Pradesh, but it is the same border that we share with China-occupied Tibet. So in many ways, this feels even more emotional for those watching this story, because we've been talking about our Jawans, our troops at the border with China for the last few days, and these are troops, manning that frontier, that troubled frontier, who, as you said, were returning home, for, festive season leave, probably after a long deployment, finally getting some time to go home to spend time with their families, and that makes it even sadder, sir.
Yes, it is. It is very sad. It's very tragic because these men would have finished the tour of duty for this particular, season. They would have been there for the toughest part, patrolling the areas, the wind speeds out there at these altitudes and North Sikkim, especially the plateau, something like about 50, 60 knots on average. Night patrols, nighttime they're on duties. It is winters, severe winters, snow. Even the snow swept away by the breeze. It is the conditions I really cannot even try and this thing. You have to experience it. And some of Shiv, you've been there, Gaurav's been there, others have been there. You have experienced it yourself. And those who are deployed there for let's say 2 years, it's not easy for them. It's a very tough life. And when they're coming back, there is a sense of accomplishment, a sense of achievement that they have done their tenure right now, and they want to go back, spend some time with the near and dear ones. It's the festive season, rightly said. They come with when they come on leave, they come with tasks cut out. They got that children's education, their families to be looked after, medical care of their parents. There are a number of things, houses to be made.
Yes,
There's so many
absolutely.
things. And the families back have aspirations that they're coming back, they wait. And when this happens, they are heartbroken. They are inconsolable, rightly so. But that is a soldier's life. The soldier's life is high risk life. It is everything at the risk. Like I said, it's a task, it's a terrain, it's a weather, it's a movement, you name it. And we have hybrid sickness in these areas. It takes a toll on your body, attrition over the years, and then in my old age, you feel it that this is what would have happened that time. So the results are now. So this is soldier's life, and we are volunteers, and we actually love being together. It is the unit which is there who will also feel the pinch of the soldiers now they're missing. They'll be long
Absolutely.
remembered, but then these are things which happen.
General Bhatia, always a pleasure. And like I said, thank you for your time.